We'll be live in a sec, just putting some tweets out. The lag my PC is currently experiencing is not exactly promising, but let's cross our fingers and hope for the best. My chest isn't large enough for you to actually be able to see it all. It's just a very on-brand shirt. So I am going to be keeping an eye on both I'm going to be trying to keep an eye on both the Twitch chat and the Discord chat. You can join the Discord by underneath the stream, like down there somewhere. There's a big Discord icon. Click it, you'll get an invitation. You can join it. That's where most people will be chatting along while I'm also doing preamble. If you are interested in following this channel, there's a follow, I think it's a heart, and it should be like there, I think. If you do that, then you'll get notifications whenever we go live. And over there, which is just currently happening, a nice little star pops up and celebrates your following, which is always fun. Who doesn't want a little star popping up and celebrating their following? Okay, I think after a last minute reboot, after everything started lagging out, I think I'm roughly ready now. Sorry for the slight delay. Second week in, I'm already showing up late for my own podcast, as Lee was saying in the Discord. Not ideal, but you know, we do what we can. Thank you for the follows, everybody. Yeah, so after last week with Kelly and Garrett, including a terrific comeback by Kelly and Garrett thoroughly embarrassing himself, after that all went so well. Let me just move slightly. No, that's a bad idea. After that went so well, we're ready to full on move over to it being interactive. You can tell we're flustered having to reboot my PC. Not entirely sure what I'm saying, but where's my notes gone? Here we are. Full on Dave Meltzer. Lots and lots of pages, lots of ruffling will be occurring during the stream. That's the word I was looking for. So yes, last week we did what I'm going to call a showdown, which is a kind of one-on-one gimmick quiz. This week is going to be what it's more likely to be moving forwards, although, I'm still figuring stuff out, so we'll, be open to feedback for changing in the format. But yeah, instead of having two people on from the Voice of Wrestling staff to be a part of the quiz, instead it's going to be pulling people out of the audience, so people in the Discord primarily. In fact, yeah, only people in the Discord. So basically, the way this is going to work, as I pull up the PowerPoint to show you, I've been slaving away with my very bad design skills, I guess, if you can even call them that. Let me get rid of that. That shouldn't be there. There we go. Making fancy logos that are barely fancy. Yes, so yes, this week is the beginning of what I'm going to be calling, in a very bad wrestling pun way, the World's Hardest Quiz Determination League. Which is also known in the West primarily as the Real World Quiz League. Slightly deep cut there, but hopefully some of you will get it. Is Twitch really laggy for somebody else? That could be my end. I really hope it's not, because I was getting some lag beforehand, which caused me to reboot the PC. Okay, people are saying it's okay for other people. Okay, good. Yes, hello people in the Twitch chat. I am going to be reading your answers, but because of the way this is going to be working, which I'll explain in a bit, the way I pull people into the voice chat so they can be heard on stream is through the Discord, so I need the people from the Discord to be the ones that are pulling onto the show, because that's how it works. Yes, I would very much encourage you to join Discord. It's down there. And then the channel within the Discord is called hashtag VOW Quiz Night, with some dashes in the middle. And it has... it's in the podcast section. Cool. Let's get to it then. So, here is our roadmap. This is kind of my plan for the next, let me check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks of the show. We're going to be having a tournament in which the best performers move on, as happens in a tournament, and we crown our initial champion of the Voice of Wrestling Quiz Night. So this week is going to be this section here, which I'm circling with my mouse. We're going to have the A block, as well as 4 crowd calls. Now, what are crowd calls, you may ask? Good question. It's basically going to be me asking a question out to everybody in the Discord, open to everybody. The first person to answer that question correctly gets to come on the show, and they then will get to answer 10 questions based on the category of the crowd call that it was. That was a slightly cack-handed way of explaining it, but it'll all become clear. We'll then have 4 of them on each of the block episodes, which will, as I bring up the leaderboard, you'll be placed onto the leaderboard depending on how well you do on the 10 questions. Now, the top performer will move, for each block, will move straight to the semi-finals, as you can see here, and the person who finishes second on the week will get to move across into the Battle Royal, which will kind of be a last chance qualifier type deal. That'll happen 4 weeks in a row with each block, each with different categories each week, and yeah, the top performers will also move on to eventually a Voice of Wrestling versus the top performers, the All-Stars we're calling them, which will kind of be a team show that's not directly a part of the tournament, but kind of I'll bring some people on from the Voice of Wrestling staff to face the top people who've performed throughout the course of the tournament. Then the Battle Royal will be a little bit of a different format, and that will be a last chance qualifier. Then we'll have, like we had last week, 2 showdowns as 2 semi-finals, they'll move on to a final. We'll do one big final and we'll crown a champion. Yeah, so if that's, hopefully that's clear. If it's not, it'll all become apparent. So I think we're roughly ready to begin. Now the first category, easy for me to say, is going to be the Golden Age, a Golden Age kind of Pillars era, 4 Pillars era, All Japan. So I am going to be doing the first crowd call, so I'll ask a question, and then the first person to answer correctly in the Discord will be pulled into the voice chat. I'm just posting something in the Discord now. If you want to participate, then answer and try and get it right. You're only allowed one guess, so I'm only going to take your first guess in the Discord chat. Please only answer this question if you do want to come on the line, and that involves being on the call. You need to have headphones, otherwise there'll be an echo. You need to have some sort of mic, and you need to be willing to be on. So please don't answer if you don't actually want to come on. All the other questions, that's fine, but for the crowd calls, please don't. Yeah, so question then. The question is, who was the number 2 gaijin, so the number 2 foreigner, in the summer of 1995 in All Japan? Now, that may seem a little subjective, but really there's only one answer. So have at it. This is where I wait for the delay to come through and start seeing your answers in the chat. Ooh, typing is occurring. Some wrong answers coming in. And we have ourselves a winner. Congratulations to, let's see if I can read this properly, DK, probably D Kooky Punk? I'm going to go with D Kooky Punk. It was indeed Johnny Ace. During this summer, Steve Williams wasn't there. I'm taking Stan Hansen as the de facto number 1 gaijin for that period. And it was before Albright came in, which I think was in either the autumn or the winter. So, yes, Johnny Ace was in fact the winner. So we have our first contestant. I will just message them to make sure they're good with coming on. Can you please go into the there's a voice channel that's for, what's it called? It's called VOW Quiz Night Hold. So if you could put yourself into there, that would be brilliant. As I awkwardly wait while the delay catches up. Dear, that's an unfortunate amount of lag occurring at the moment. Let's see if I can close some more things in the background. Here we go. Okay, you're in there, so I'll just quickly private message you. So hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, welcome. Congratulations for getting the first crowd call right. Big Johnny Ace fan, are you?
I just guessed that.
Well, it was correct, so it was better than the guesses of Dr.
Is there an
Death.
echo on my end?
I don't think so. It seems okay. The chat
Awesome.
can probably let us on.
No, don't need that.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. It's an honor to be on.
Ah, well, you're most welcome. You're most welcome. What's your name?
Danny Kukler.
Danny, hello. So, 10 questions. Are you ready to answer? I'm going to need you to answer relatively quickly.
Yes.
Cool. So the first one up is the Big Boss Man, Ray Traylor, primarily of WCW and WWF fame, competed in a single real-world tag league. Who was his partner?
Ooh. Was it, ooh. I don't know.
No guesses?
Ray Trailer is, Ray Trailer. I got lucky here.
No worries, no worries. Next question. The answer with that one was Steve Williams. He finished fourth behind the four pillars, and then also Hanson and Baba. So the second question. Kenta Kobashi faced Johnny Ace 14 times in singles matches over their career. How many of these encounters did Kobashi win? Now, there is a leeway here, but for the number-based questions, I'm not going to give the leeway out ahead of time because it can sometimes be a clue for the actual answer. So, out of the 14, 6. Well, I'm going to give you the correct answer there. It was actually 7. He only won half of them, with 1 loss and 6 draws in there, but I'm giving you a leeway of 1, so that's 1 point. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Third question. What year did the perennial mid-carders, the Can-Am Express, get their first and only shot at the World Tag Team Championships, and who was it against? Are you still there?
It was against Holy Demon Army.
Mm-hmm.
And it was 1994.
Ooh, 1995. So you're getting half a point there.
Oh.
Close, close. It was a pretty good match. I watched it relatively recently. Good stuff. Let's see. Is anyone getting anything right in the chat? Ooh, Gerard got the year right, but not the team right. So we got between the two of you, you'd have made it. Next question. Burning became one of the most infamous stables of Japan from the late 90s onwards. In their original All Japan run, 4 men could count themselves as members. Can you name them?
So, name the stable?
Yes. Need you to name the 4 members.
So, Kenta Kobashi.
Uh-huh.
Dr. Death Steve Williams. Misawa, and I have no idea.
One out of 4. The other 3 were Jun Akiyama, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Kentaro Shiga. So 1.5 points so far.
I watched very few All Japan tapes. I'm surprised I'm surprised I've gotten 2 points.
Ah, well, overperforming then. Overperforming. Next up, Steve Williams, Gary Albright, and Wolf Hawkfield formed a stable together in 1997. The following year, Williams and Hawkfield were replaced by the UWFI duo of Masahito Kakihara and Yoshihiro Takayama. What was the stable's name?
Probably some weird Japanese name. Burning. I don't know.
No. Triangle of Power. It's a tricky one if you don't know it. It's not really guessable, unfortunately, that one. Okay, next up. Question 6. Mike Barton, the former Bart Gunn of WWF and Brawl for All winner, held the All Japan World Tag Team Championships once with Johnny Ace. But what was the name of the tag team that they lost the titles to?
Holy Demon Army?
It's a good guess. They did hold the titles a lot, but unfortunately, it's not correct. That was No Fear. So.
That's the other token guess.
Yeah, Takayama and Omori. I think that was their
Takayama
first
and
time
Omori.
winning the titles. No Fear. So it was a big one for them. Question 7. After making the jump to All Japan, Vader is one of the few wrestlers who can claim they were victorious in their Carnival debut. Who did he defeat in the final of the Champion Carnival?
Jun Akiyama.
Another good guess, but it was unfortunately his burning teammate, Kenta Kobashi.
I should have went with Kobashi.
Ah. You managed to just dodge all the right answers on your guesses here.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is another numbers one. Again, you have a leeway, which I will establish after your answer. Jun Akiyama's first taste of gold came when he won the All Asia Tag Team titles with Takao Omori.
Okay.
How long would the duo's title reign end up being in months?
8.
Well, I'm actually going to give you a leeway of 5 on this one, so it could be anywhere from 3 to 13 and you'd be correct. But unfortunately, you're still not. Because this team, despite when they first won them, they were kind of still on the verge of being young boys. They held the title for 35 months.
Holy shit!
Yeah, from late January 1995 to early January 1998, losing eventually to Johnny Smith and... I haven't written this down. I think, yeah, Johnny Smith and Wolf Hawkfield, I'm pretty sure, was the team they lost to. Which, you know...
I'm getting an education on all Japan history, boys.
Yeah, we're learning. We're learning here. We're learning. To be fair, I don't think many people would have got that in the chat. I'm not saying many right answers. It's one you... Not many people have encyclopedic knowledge of the All Asia titles. Okay, so the next one up is... All Japan's Triple Crown for a long time was the highest honour in all of Puro. And it was first combined in April 1989. Can you name the first 5 holders of the belt?
So, Giant Baba. Jumbo Tsuruta.
Mm-hmm.
Riki Choshu. Junichiro Tenryu.
Mm-hmm.
And Yoshiaki Yatsu.
Only 2 correct. You've gone a little early there. Most of them weren't still at the peak of All Japan in 1989, but the Tsuruta and Tenryu were the first 2 champions. So Tsuruta won it first. They lost the title to Tenryu. Tenryu would then lose
I was thinking way early. I was thinking like PWF.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking like that. So it's probably like Tsuruta, Tenryu, Kawada, Kobashi, and Misawa.
So Misawa was one of the other names. The other 2 were Stan Hansen and Terry Gordy. Let's see, did anyone get them right? Zach Biggs got it right in the chat, so congrats to him, as well as Gerard. Well done.
At least I got 2.
Yeah, you got 2. Not bad, not bad. Not enough for half a point, but almost there, almost there. Some pride. And then final question, to close off the initial round. The junior division of Golden Age All Japan was much maligned, but which man held the longest combined reigns of the junior title throughout the 90s? So, when we're taking the 90s as a whole in All Japan, who held the belt combined for the most days of the junior title?
Junior? So, Yoshinari Ogawa.
No. He did hold it, and I think he had multiple reigns, fairly long. He might even be the number 2 guy, but it was actually Masanobu Fuchi. So,
but it was a good guess, though.
It was a pretty decent guess. So, 1.5 points.
Can I pull up my stuff real quick?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
DJD Kooks on Twitter. Get in the Ring on the Social Suplex. I host a pretty good wrestling show on there. It's called GITR Wrestle. So thank you, Robin, for having me on and for the first pleasure of bombing on all Japan questions.
I mean, so someone was going to bomb at some point, so you've got it out the way for everyone. You've done everyone a favour, really.
I've done everyone a pretty good favor of. I saw All Japan. I was like, I knew Johnny Ace was like the second All Japan, but I didn't know the questions.
And one more thing before you go. What was your name? It was Danny. What was the surname?
Kukler.
How am I spelling
Kukler.
that? Kuchler.
Kuchler.
So you're at the top of the leaderboard for now. It may not last. Woo! Who knows? But you know. No one else can say they were the first.
I can say that I can be in the worst of the worst if you ever do that again.
Well, maybe on another week you'll find an episode that becomes leans better into your strengths, and you'll be able to better this performance.
Yes, I will. I'll keep trying.
Yeah. So thank you, and let me see. How do I remove someone, or can you leave?
I'll remove myself.
Cheers. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Robin.
Okay, there we go then. That went okay. The question's a little tricky, but you know, it is the world's hardest quiz determination league after all. It would not work if it was easy. Let me just resize that because that's annoying me by being too big. There we go. Okay, we have our first person on the leaderboard. Will you be able to top him? There's a reasonable chance. As we move into our next round, which is going to be on the Rainmaker era of New Japan, which I'm classing as pretty much since Okada's return. So Wrestle Kingdom, what would that be? Wrestle Kingdom 2012. I imagine that's going to be a strong category for a lot of people, but these questions are going to be pretty hard, so let's see. We move to our crowd call, and the question is, and let me just quickly post the proviso in the chat. Again, if you want to participate and be like Danny, maybe beat Danny on the leaderboard, who knows, maybe become lower than Danny and make Danny feel a bit better about himself. But thanks for coming on, of course. You were a lot of fun. Please only answer this question in the chat if you actually want to come onto the show. And you can do that by joining the Discord. You can find the link to join the Discord below the stream, down there. There's a big image. Just click on the image, you'll get an invite, and you're in. Yes, so the question is, since Okada's return from Excursion, which Gaijin has the most singles match victories against him? There's a couple of possible candidates. Obviously, this era of New Japan's had quite a few different strongly booked Gaijin, but, you know, some of them have had different lengths of time in the company. Some of them are booked stronger than others. Some of them have wrestled Okada more than others, so who has the most? And of course, I'm only counting singles matches in this. I'm not counting multi-man tags and all that. Let's see. Had a lot of guesses so far. None of them right though. I can reveal AJ Styles not correct. Neither is Jay White. And we have ourselves a winner. Bad Luck Fale, correct. The Last Rewind. You are our next contestant. He has actually beat him 3 times. Through a whole range of time. I think he's beat them twice in G1s and once when like Okada was going through his emo phase after losing to Tanahashi. I think that's right, with the different coloured pants when he was going Red Maker. So yes, if you could join the holding section, that would be great, and I will pull you in a second. There we go. awkwardness of having a delay. Hello, you good to go? I think you're muted. Maybe he's just getting his mic ready. Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, we're just delaying for a second. I think he's probably just getting his mic ready. So yes, he's actually tied for third overall with victories over Okada since his excursion. I think first is Tanahashi, which you'd kind of expect. Second is Naito. And then he's tied with Goto, who, despite being called a geek all the time by everyone under the sun, is in fact third, has 3 victories over Okada. Nothing to be sniffed at. Especially in this era when a win over Okada is a big deal. Hello. How you doing? Let me just turn you on. Okay. Hello.
I had it. Hello, how you doing? I had it set to push to talk, which is bad when you.
Yeah. No worries. No worries. Yeah. Was that a complete guess with Fale, or did you have a real inkling?
No, I had a pretty good inkling because I know they're in G1 blocks a lot, and I know Fale's beaten him in the New Japan Cup at least once. So it was like if you have like more singles matches, it can't be Omega, it can't be White because I've only done 3 singles matches. It can't be Styles because he was only there for a year. So Fale was like a pretty obvious guess.
Yeah. There's good reason there. And of course you were correct. I've forgotten already to ask you your name, which I should have done up front, but
oh sure. You could probably put Liam McCann in your very lovely little score box.
Yes, Liam. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Liam, what was it?
McCann, MCCANN.
MCCANN. There
Perfect.
We go. So congratulations. Is New Japan a particular area of expertise for you? Are you expecting to do well on these?
So New Japan is what got me back into wrestling with the Okada Marufuji match in 2016, but I'm expecting to do okay, but also whenever you get on a mic on a quiz show, you get a bit nervous. So there's going to be things that are going to surprise me. So
well,
we shall see how we go.
10 questions.
I know some stuff, but
yeah,
10 questions. Okay, cool.
So I don't need you to completely rush the answers, but the idea is you can't take too long, otherwise people's guesses will start showing up in the chat, and then I trust you enough. I think you probably won't cheat, but just it's easier for everyone if we know that you've answered before the guesses have started popping up.
And I've just minimized that chat, so I don't see it anyway. So that's
cool.
Totally cool.
Cool. So Laughter 7 was the tag team name of which New Japan duo?
That would be Katsuyori Shibata and Kazushi Sakuraba.
There we go. Great start. Great team that really didn't get enough time to really spend as a tag team because Sakuraba got injured pretty early. I guess that would be slightly before you came back, I guess.
Yes, but I've gone back and watched a bunch of their matches, and there's a very excellent match where they face Inoue and Hiromu Takahashi and basically murder Takahashi for a solid 5 minutes, and it's like a good I would call it like a legitimately 4-star match because of how intense and wild it gets. So
yeah, it's incredible. Like it's almost a squash, but it's still like an incredible performance by all 4 men. That one definitely sticks out. Question 2. The Never Championship was initially meant for younger competitors, but that never came to pass. No pun intended, actually, there. I've only realised that when I've read it out. Who won the tournament to crown their first champion?
That would be Masato Tanaka.
Indeed it would. And no bonus points, but just to flex some knowledge, can you name the man he beat in the final?
Probably not. It would probably be... I know Yano was the finals for the IC title tournament, but I don't know the Never title tournament off the top of my head.
He actually beat Carl Anderson, which,
really?
when you look at as a... Oh, My phone is going off. Which, when you look at it as a final of like what was initially intended to be a young boys promotion, like
Yep.
sub promote, they really didn't stick
Yep.
to it even into the first tournament. But yes, indeed,
Mhm.
2 out of 2. You're top of the leaderboard.
Ah,
Can only go downhill from here. Okay, third
Story of my life.
question. Which stable made a shocking appearance at the New Year Dash 2017, attacking Chaos after the main event?
That would be Suzuki-gun.
It would indeed. 3 for 3. A great start.
2 years in no other comeback, and Minoru Suzuki immediately goes to the top of the line to challenge the Rainmaker himself.
He does. He does. You're on a roll. Let's see. Can you go 4 for 4? Okay. Kushida and Kyle O'Reilly had a critically acclaimed rivalry that played out across 3 continents. But how many of their singles matches took place in New Japan?
I believe. Oh, that's good. I believe it was 2. Because there's a Best of Super Juniors 24, there's Best of Super Juniors 25 match. Did he challenge? I'm gonna go with 2.
You would be correct. You almost talked yourself out of it for a second there, but again, you're on a roll.
I had to remember who won the first match. So I was like, oh no, Kushida won that. Yeah.
Yeah, so they had 2 matches in New Japan, as you said, both in Best of Super Juniors. 2 terrific matches.
Yep.
One was the
Mhm.
final, and then the other was, I think, the opening day of the following year.
That sounds about right. Yeah, so Kushida won the finals in 2014 and then 2015. And I think Kyle O'Reilly got the 2 go to him in the opening round, I believe.
I think that's right. And then they also had 2 matches in Rev Pro, and then a
Yes.
final one in Ring of Honor. I was at one of the Rev Pro ones. It was incredible. Incredible.
And they turns out that Kyle O'Reilly and Kushida, they're pretty good pro wrestlers. Funny enough.
They are quite good, then. They are quite good.
Yeah, weird how that works.
An interesting guess in the chat that I've just seen pop up of 0. Not sure that's quite right, but yeah, 4 for 4. Can you get to the halfway point at full marks? Let's see. There have only been 2 triple threat singles matches in this era of New Japan, and of that, I'm not counting like matches in Ring of Honor that may have taken place for Ring of Honor titles. So that may have taken for New Japan titles. I'm only counting in actual New Japan. Can you name the 2 matches?
I can. Would you like me to name the people in them too and the events they happened at?
I don't need the events they happened at, but if you can, then it's a good flex.
Yes. Okay. So one of them was at Dominion 2018 for the Never Openweight title, which was Hiroki Goto versus Taichi versus Michael Elgin.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one was at King of Pro Wrestling 2018 for the IWGP Heavyweight title, and that was Kenny Omega versus Kota Ibushi versus Cody.
You know, I've actually realised, and you're of course correct, but there is actually a third one that I've just realised as I'm writing this. And that would be...
Is that the junior title match?
Yes.
It's Ibushi, Devitt, and Loki?
Yes. So, you know, you've got all 3, even though I only asked for 2. Because I think I must have missed that off a filter or something when I was searching. Because that was right
one of
at the
those
beginning.
matches is forgettable.
Yeah, but 5 for 5. Incredible stuff. Yes, people are now calling me out in the chat for there actually being 3. But we got there. We got there. My bad on that one, but you know, when we've got someone answering all the correct answers, then they sort it out for me.
Look, I'll try no less stuff if that makes it easy for you. I'll try and deliberately flop a question for you if you really want me to.
Ooh, opening something up for the end. I do have a tiebreaker in case 2 people get 10 out of 10, so I may have you on again at the end if someone else does. Yes, indeed, it was the match where Loki got himself fired by wrestling in a suit without okaying that with anyone.
Yeah. And that was after he was saying that the radiation from Fukushima was also affecting his performances and he didn't want to come back, if I recall, or something like that.
Yeah, is you know, low-key stuff, very low-key stuff. Question 6. On the show that I view as the start of this era, which would be Wrestle Kingdom 6 in 2012, there was a match dubbed A Fight Without Honor or Humanity, which is a hell of a title. Who took place in said match? Who took place? Who was a part of said match?
Wrestle Kingdom 6. 2012. Okay, I don't know this. This is a complete guess. I think it's one side is Togi Makabe. and the other side is okay, this is a total guess. I think it's Togi Makabe versus Yoshihiro Takayama.
Well, it's a hell of a guess because it's correct.
Oh, okay.
Thought I might have tripped you up there on one of these, but no, he's good. It was a horrific match because that was kind of past Takayama's time as being any sort of in-ring force. But and you know, Makabe, even at the best of times, is never. Few people would describe him as a super worker, but you know, he has his moments.
But he's not exactly a Zack Sabre Jr. or
he's not going to be
like
one
that.
to carry someone. That's for sure. So 6 out of 6. Can we keep this going all the way? People in the chat are very impressed with you.
Oh god.
Question number 7. The current WWE wrestler, although that might be a kind of stretch of the word, Shinsuke Nakamura, was the guy who was the longest... sorry, let me say that again. Was the guy who, for the longest time, defined the Intercontinental Championship. Which other current WWE wrestler also held the title?
This is where my knowledge of, like, my lack of knowledge of current WWE betrays me. I believe it's MVP. If he's still there.
Damn, I think now, you know, I was not thinking of MVP still being there, but that could be a good point. That could also be my current lack of knowledge. The name I was looking for was Andrade or La Sombra, but let me...
yes, La Sombra.
MVP may indeed be there. You may have snuck back there without me realising. Now that you've mentioned it, it's triggered something in my mind. I'm sure the chat will tell us.
Like, I don't follow current WWE, but I think he had a match like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't know if he's signed. Something like that.
Let me quickly Google WWE roster on Wikipedia, the ever-reliable source.
Yes.
He's a manager, I'm being told in the chat, which does count as being in WWE. So I'm going to give you the point there, because you were right.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't
Thank you.
what I was trying to do. But yes, well done. 7 out of 7. I've tripped myself up more than I've tripped you up so far. Okay, so which wrestler had made the most G1 finals since 2012? This might be one you need to math out a little bit.
Yeah, okay, so 2012. Is it Naito?
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got him. We finally stumped him. It's Hiroshi Tanahashi with 3.
It's like, yeah. Okay. Wait, is it Naito 3? Because it's 2013, 2017, 2016?
Have I failed counting? I probably have. Let me check.
Yeah, Naito won in 2013 and 2017, and then the 2016 match was against Omega in the finals.
Okay, so what I've actually done is I've misread my question here. What I meant to write was what was written down, if I could actually just read, would say other than Naito, but I've screwed up there. My bad, guys.
Okay.
Let myself down here.
Okay.
I've let myself down here.
Okay.
But you know,
hey, it happens.
The role continues. Apparently, these
it's like Naito and Tanahashi with 3, Omega and Okada I think with 2, and then there's a bunch of people with 1. Oh, Bushi with 2 as well. Nakamura with 1. And anyway. Tanahashi and Naito, turns out they get pushes.
Wait, let me just double check Naito, because I'm starting to doubt myself there, because wasn't 2016 Kenny Goto?
Yes, you are right. Yes.
Let me double check this, because I'm doubting myself all over.
You are absolutely correct. Yeah. So the A block final was Okada Tanahashi, the B block final was Naito Omega, and then the Ryogoku final was Naito Goto Omega. You are absolutely correct.
So Naito has had 2. So I was right first time, and then I doubted myself and confused. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've despite
I'll take it
a big diversion from me confusing myself. We have indeed got a wrong question, ladies and gentlemen. He's down to a maximum of 9 points now. We've done it.
Oh boy. The pressure's getting to me.
Yes. Watch the Garrett-esque crumble from here on out. Hopefully. So, Roppongi 3K feel like they have won the junior belt about 1 million times now. But which team
Yes.
did they defeat in their first successful defense of the belts?
Defense. Ooh, that's a good question. Okay, let me just go through their ratings. So they beat Taguchi and Ricochet in 2017 to win the titles. Then they lost to the Young Bucks. Then they beat the Young Bucks. Then they lost to Suzuki-gun. Then they beat. Oh, it's Suzuki-gun. It's Desperado and Kanemaru, is it not?
It is indeed. 8 out of 9
Yeah.
we moved
They've
to.
had, they've had like 4 reigns and had 1 defense.
Yeah.
So
Yes, it's
yeah.
their first successful defense, and I think. Well, no, I think they've had 2 now because they beat Rocky and.
Yes.
But yes, that
Yep.
was their first one in their most recent reign.
And
Despite,
their longest reign is like 90 days or something embarrassing like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then final question: Can you get
Oh boy.
9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10? Either way, you're going into first. You're going into first.
Oh shucks.
Haruki Goto. Oh, for some reason, my brain really struggles with this name. Haruki Goto, despite the salacious rumors of him being a geek, has won a title on 4 separate occasions at Wrestle Kingdom events. Can you list these matches?
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, I can list at least 2 of them. So there's 2015 where he wins the tag titles from Bullet Club with Shibata.
That's
There
one of them.
is 2018 where he wins the Never title from Minoru Suzuki.
You did
There
indeed.
is 2017. There's 2017 where he beat Katsuyori Shibata for the Never title.
And one more.
One more. There's 2 routes I can go down here. I don't know which one's correct. 2013, 2014. Did he win the title at Kingdom 7?
You've lagged out a bit there. Could you repeat that?
Oh, so
Either that's on my end or your end, but I'm only hearing robot speak at the moment. Could you give it one more time? Yeah. The chat will probably catch up, but they can tell me if this is just on my end or on yours. Could you type the answer in the chat? Oh no, you're back to good now.
No, yeah, sorry. So, oh fuck, sorry. Yeah, okay, I got it. So it's Shibata for the Never title, Suzuki for the Never title, beat Bullet Club for the tag titles, and then there was a Kenta match last like 2 months ago,
There
or
was
8 years
indeed.
ago.
Yes.
Yep.
There we go. Correct. So you,
Yep.
well done. 9 out of 10. Do you have anything to plug while I'm updating the leaderboard?
Not at the moment. If I win, I'll take the victory lap of plugging something, but I've got to prove myself first.
Okie dokie. So
Okay.
thank
Thanks
you
a lot.
very much for joining. You've set a very high bar, but yes, let's see if anyone can beat you.
No problem. Cheers, Robin.
Thanks for coming on. Okay, let me move these names around because a leaderboard not ordered is not a very useful leaderboard. Slightly awkward silence as I move numbers around, but congratulations. We reached the halfway point, and I'm going to take a very quick break because I need to piss. I will be right back. Hello. I'm seeing people ask how they can get up to date on the stream. If you just refresh the browser page, it should get you all as close to real time as is possible and lined up so you have the best chance. Yes, I have misspelled that name. Let me quickly fix that. There we go. So, there's a lot to live up to after that one, because 9 points is going to be tricky to beat out of 10, because that's how numbers work. Thank you, Liam, for coming on. You've set a very high bar. Now, the next question is... the next round, even, is going to be on WWE's 2019. Now, it's often said amongst the Voice of Wrestling Slack group that the hardest things to remember is recent WWE. So this is kind of going to put that to the test, because while in other categories we've gone from whole eras across multiple sorry, distracted by the chat. Need to get better at this. Whereas other categories go across whole eras of promotions from, far back into the past. We're going last year and just the 1 year. However, it's WWE and very few people are clued into it. Now, this was a hard section of the quiz for me to write because I don't watch WWE, so while I would probably get 0 on this quiz, maybe someone clued in would do really well. We'll see. We'll see. Let me post the crowd call message in the chat. So, again, please only answer this one in the chat if you actually want to come on the show. And you're prepared, so you have a mic and some headphones so you don't get echo. Cool. Oh, and I'll just say, if you want to catch up, just refresh the stream and you'll be as live as is possible. Okay, so the question is, Seth Rollins won the Men's Royal Rumble last year by eliminating Braun Strowman last. But who was the penultimate man to be thrown out? Now, if you'd even asked me who did Seth Rollins throw out, I'd have really struggled to get the answer right. So I'd have done terribly on this. But who's the penultimate man? I'm not even sure if I could have answered who won the Men's Royal Rumble last year. I mean, Seth Rollins might have been my guess because he's one of the few guys they consistently push. And we have ourselves a correct answer, and it's actually the very first answer in there. So not only is it rapid, it's also correct, which is kind of the important part, I guess. So congratulations to Paul Walsh. It was indeed Dolph Ziggler. Also, Wikipedia tells me, the ever-reliable source. If you could please join the hold section so I can pull you in. Hello, you ready? Hello. Welcome to the show.
How are you?
How are you doing, Paul?
Yeah, so, hey, I'm fine. So I will be going to, my goal right now is to aim at a score that is below Danny's score from the round, because I have actually not watched any WWE since the Royal Rumble last year. So this is gonna go great.
Yeah, this could be a little boost to Danny's confidence here. This was such a hard quiz to write because I'd be like, well, I don't think anyone knows this, but maybe people do. Maybe people do, but it seems like the answer
Look, I
might
have
be you don't.
Yeah. I have a strategy, so we'll see if it works out because it already helped me with the call question. So we'll see how it goes.
Okie dokie. Again, don't need super quick answers, but obviously, you can't be taking forever and just reading the answers in the chat, obviously.
Yep.
Okay, first question up. WWE debuted the 24/7 title last year. Titus O'Neil was the first champion, but who was the second?
The second champion, was it R-Truth?
See, that's a guess many people will have gone for because he's kind of the person most
Damn it.
associated with the belt, but it's not correct. It was Robert Roode in what I'm sure was a very
Oh,
memorable
Jesus.
reign.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's certain. Yeah.
there's so many people it could have been that I don't know. I never got it.
It probably was an amazing match as well. 4 stars likely.
I mean, either that or a roll up in a backstage area, which would probably be 5 stars. Okay, second up, we've got WWE is currently gearing up for Money in the Bank. But what was the WWE Championship match that took place at last year's event?
Last year's event. The WWE Championship, not the Universal Championship.
Correct.
The WWE Championship match, was that Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton?
You've got the right champion, but it wasn't the right challenger. He faced Kevin Owens at that show in a match I have zero recollection of, which may be because I didn't watch it. We're off to a good start.
Okay, so far so good. Yeah.
Question 3. Just shy of a month prior to that event, WWE aired a show called The Shield's Final Chapter. Who were the trio's opponents?
Trio's opponents. Let's just say it was Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, and Braun Strowman.
Well, 0 for 3, so
Yay!
there we go. Both in so far and also out of those names. It was in fact the Boar Horseman stable of Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, and Drew McIntyre in what I'm sure was an incredibly memorable farewell for the Shield. And also that sounds like 1,000,000 years ago that the Shield were having matches last year. We're like, what?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Shield reunion on Dynamite soon.
Nah, like Rollins is ever leaving. He's way too far up that ass to ever remove himself.
No, I was just thinking of the actually good members of the Shield.
Yeah, maybe. Definitely a possibility. Question 4. WWE also debuted the Women's Tag Team Championships last year. Which team held those titles for the most combined days during 2019?
Well, that would be the team of Peyton Royce and the other Australian.
I'm going to either need a name or the name of the team.
The Iconics.
There we go. Correct.
Okay.
You're on the board. You've got
What's
a
the
point.
name of the other Australian?
Peyton Royce and Billy Kay. There we go. It's in there somewhere. Now, Kabuki Warriors actually had a longer reign, but less days in 2019 because their reign went into 2020. I think they lost at Mania. I think. Maybe. Probably should be something I know. So yes, 1 out of 4 so far. You're on the board. Question 5.
Okay, getting close now. Might not fulfill my goal here.
Hanson and Rowe, the former War Machine, debuted on the main roster in 2019. What names did they go by when they debuted? And for this, I need both the tag team name for when they debuted, but also their individual names. So I need to know first up. I'll just ask what is Hanson's name on the main roster, or the former Hanson?
Is he Eric?
And what name are you going for Rowe?
Ivar.
Unfortunately, you've got these the wrong way round, but you can still get half a point if you get the
okay,
tag team
okay.
name.
That would be the Viking Experience.
There we go. So you got a point and a half.
Okay.
There. It was indeed the
Okay,
Viking
okay, so I've tied
Experience
Danny. So.
that was rapidly changed
I-
into Viking Raiders, I think they are now. That sounds
I
right.
was so close to saying Viking War Raider Experience.
I mean, look, if I hadn't have done the research, it could have been right. To my ears, anyway. Okay, so simple one for question 6. What stadium did WrestleMania 35 take place in?
Hey, well, you say it's easy.
As in a simple
where was
type of
Mania
question.
last?
I'm not sure I'd
Oh,
get
okay.
it, but it's, you know, it's a...
Wait, that was in New York, so it was the MetLife, right?
It was indeed. 2.5 points. There we go.
Okay, thank God.
Yes, so next up, question 7. The road to WrestleMania is meant to be the most memorable the most memorable part of WWE's year. But what was the pay-per-view before Mania in 2019, and what was the main event?
It was that Roadblock End of the Line, and was the main event Kevin Owens against Seth Rollins?
I think Roadblock End of the Line was like 2016 or something, but you know,
God.
it was Fastlane, which, you know, they're all along the same kind of theme. And the main event
Vroom
was
vroom.
yet again, it was the Shield versus the Boar Horseman. The exact same match that main evented the Shield's final chapter event. So 2.5 out of 7 so far. Respectable.
Looking good, looking good. Yeah.
Question
Better
8.
than I thought it would be.
Yeah, well, Rey Mysterio beat Samoa Joe for the US title at the Money in the Bank, but who beat the person who Joe beat for the title? So, kind of 2 reigns before Joe.
Uh, 2 reigns before Joe of the US title. It's the US title, so probably no one important. So let's say it was no, he wasn't called up yet, so before Joe. Robert Roode?
It was not Robert Roode. I'm not sure if he's had the US title, although he could. I don't think so, but it was Nakamura. Nakamura had a 2-day reign with the belt.
Jesus Christ.
Before he was beaten by R-Truth, who was quickly jobbed to Samoa Joe, who then eventually lost the title to Rey Mysterio.
Remember when Nakamura came out at Wrestle Kingdom and he was the coolest motherfucker that ever lived, and people said there's no way they could screw it up, and then he screwed it up.
Hey, WWE are very talented.
Good times.
They're very talented in that regard. Andrew Rich is absolutely destroying this round, although I didn't see him get Fastlane. Fastlane may have stumped him. Who else?
The AI isn't perfect.
Yeah, even a robot can't. Or maybe he's just disguising his robotness by not getting that one right.
Mm.
Who else is doing well in the challenge? I'll do a quick check-in. Griffin got Fastlane. Let's see.
Mm.
Not a lot of other correct answers, to be honest. Question 9. The first Raw of 2019 was main evented by the IC Championship match. Who was in it?
IC title, let's see. That's gotta be someone not very important. So let's say it was Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre.
Well, it was neither of those guys, but you know, you do what you can. It was Dean Ambrose defeating Seth Rollins or defending against him. I'm not sure who actually won the match. I
Oh.
don't have that written down.
Oh,
Yeah, that feels like it would be a long time ago, but no, beginning of last year.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh, was that when Dean Ambrose did the Corona gimmick?
could be. Honestly, Paul, I have no idea. It may have been. And then this is a final question, and it's multiple choice. From that, it's fairly gettable, and that's who had the most main roster matches out of these three over the course of 2019? Was it Big Show? Was it Kane? Or was it Brock Lesnar?
Ooh. Okay, which one would be the dumbest one of these answers? Let's go with the mayor of Knox County, Kane. That's gotta be Kane.
Unfortunately, it don't gotta be Kane this time. It don't gotta be Kane, and it don't gotta be Big Show, because madly, I was shocked when I looked this up. Both guys had 0
Really?
matches in 2019.
Oh wow.
Big
Actually,
Show's,
Lesnar. Okay, that's the last one I would have guessed. I almost picked Big Show before I picked Kane.
yeah, whereas Lesnar had 8 matches.
Ooh,
So, yeah,
regular workers there. Yeah.
he's a real workhorse, that Lesnar. So,
Hmm.
that has you...
Gotta be careful that his body doesn't break down.
That has you on... Where's my paper? 1... No, that's New Japan. Fucking hell, I've got too many pieces of paper here. 1, 2, 2.5. 2.5 points. Slide you into
Yeah.
second place. So
Nice. So what you're saying is there's still a chance for me to go into the Battle Royal at least.
there is indeed. There is indeed.
Woo.
You're on the board. Do you have anything you would like to plug while I am editing the leaderboard?
Well, I guess read whenever I like put something up on Voice of Wrestling. Don't follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to Japanese streaming services to save the companies. Yeah, I'm normally you would have followed along mine and Gerard's kind of extensive championship carnival coverage. Obviously, that's cancelled. I'm sure there will be something be written down the line. And oh yeah, actually, there's something very specific. If you've been reading along to our Social Distance Santa series of articles, maybe there's a second round we're going to do of that. Who knows? Maybe there's going to be something soon. So
Nice little
be on the
tease.
lookout for that. Yeah. Okay, and then otherwise, yeah. Good luck to whoever is the next contestant. Can't be any worse than this category. See ya.
Thanks for coming on. There we go. We move this around. And the last category is going to be AEW. And I've picked 2 fine specimens to be the... whatever that is. I don't know what you call it. Screen. Let's go with screen. Let me move this leaderboard around a bit. It's more awkward than it should be to do something like this on OBS. Right. Go. Bear with me. There we go. Okay. Okay, let me put the message in the chat. Again, thank you for joining me, Paul, as we move into our final round. As let's say there's one person with a little bit of a lead, but you know, there's some people with good AEW knowledge. Maybe he'll be chased down in this last one. Okay, messages in the chat. So again, please only answer this one in the Discord chat if you want to actually be on the show, and that involves having a mic and having some in-ear headphones to stop echo. Again, you might want to refresh the stream now so you can kind of catch up and get to the same point. And I will say, ahead of this whole round, including this next question, for the purposes of this, for all stats-based stuff, I'm not including the original All In show as part of AEW, because, it was kind of a AEW show, and I made the arbitrary decision to not include it. So yeah, question is, Jon Moxley has a very impressive record in AEW. In two-sided matches, which, to clarify what I mean by that, I mean tag matches where it's 2v2, singles matches 1v1, even trios matches 3v3, but not counting battle royals, not counting three-way tag matches, not counting four-way matches, that sort of thing. So anything where there's one winner, one loser, or one set of winners and one set of losers. So in two-sided matches, he is 16-1-1, Jon Moxley is, but there's one wrestler with a better record, and that's 8-0 throughout his whole AEW career. Who is it? I am indeed counting unsanctioned matches. Although it may or may not come into this. We have ourselves a winner. It is indeed MJF. Congratulations to JRJ in chat, an appropriate name for MJF to be winning. He is indeed 8-0. He is, I think, 7 singles matches won and 1 tag team match, but I could be wrong on that. So, if you could move yourself into the hold section, and I will pull you in when you're ready. You don't have a mic. Well, Lee answered correct immediately after you, so if Lee is ready to move in, could you move yourself into the hold section? Awkwardly waiting. Do I have any AEW anecdotes to fill the time? I don't think I really do. I enjoyed seeing Sammy get hit by a golf cart. That was fun. Ah, Leah's ready. Okay, I'll move you in. Hello, Lee.
Oh, Rob.
Let me check. Do I have you muted? No, I do not have you muted. You're good. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Can you hear me, yeah?
I can indeed hear you, and hopefully the stream can too. Yeah. Yes, you are not muted. That's good. Do you want to get your podcast plug out the way since I've seen you pimping it in the chat?
Yeah, Days of Thunder. At WCW Thunderpod on Twitter.
For all your Thunder-related content, which I know everybody is dying for, because why wouldn't you be?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
Thunder.
Everybody loves Thunder.
It's a beautiful blue brand. Blue brand? Blue brand.
Bland?
Bland. If it's anything, it's not bland. Okay, so how's your AEW knowledge?
Probably not great. Ropey.
Yeah, where are you aiming at on the leaderboard then? There's a little gulf in the middle, so maybe that's somewhere to shoot for.
I'd say somewhere between Paul and Danny.
Okay, that's a tight little target to make. Okay, let's get this started and see how you do then. So the first question, and this is again not counting All In. What was the first singles match to take place in AEW history?
W. Um, Cody Darby was first on Dynamite, but they had Double or Nothing before Dynamite. Was it the... You counting the Casino Battle Royale?
I am
Yeah.
not counting that.
Ah, was it Pac Omega?
It was not. That was that on the show? Maybe that was on the show. I'm not sure. But it was Kip Sabian defeating Sammy Guevara. That's the historic first ever AEW singles match.
Sabian. See, that's the problem. Nobody's going to remember that.
It's not a particularly memorable match, really, is it? So you now need to get every single question right to be able to tie Liam. I think he might be onto a winner here, but who knows? Who knows? Second question: who are the two men to get pins or submissions over AEW World Champions within AEW? So not counting, like, say Jon Moxley was champion and got pinned in New Japan. That doesn't count. I'm talking only within AEW shows.
Okay, so they had to have been AEW champion at the time they were pinned.
Correct.
Okay,
There's two of them.
Gonna guess Cody and...
I'll let you know, because it does seem slightly unfair. Half of it is slightly a trick question. I don't know if that helps you or just gets more in your head, but, you know, I try and be fair.
Cody and Jericho?
The answer is Jon Moxley, because when he pinned Chris Jericho was champion.
Okay, yeah.
So that's
okay.
the kind of the trick part, and the other is Scorpio Sky beating at Dynamite
yeah.
in November. He beat Chris Jericho in a tag match, which earned him a title shot. Third question up: on what show did the Dark Order first debut?
Show. Dynamite.
It was not Dynamite. It was Double or Nothing. They debuted by attacking the Best Friends and the Hybrid 2 of Jack Evans and Helico, which was the beginning of a lot of goofiness, fun times. They've got it back on track though. They've got it back.
Turned it
on track.
around.
Yeah, took a while. Few aborted missions, but you know, as soon as Brody showed up, they got things on board. Okay, fourth question: which wrestler holds the record currently, and it's not necessarily a record you want, but he does have it, for the most losses in AEW? And again, I'm only counting two-sided matches, so not like counting battle royals and that sort of thing, or four ways or whatever. Just matches where there's one set of winners and one set of losers.
First name to come to mind, so I'm just going to guess at this. I'm going to say QT Marshall.
It's not, unfortunately. He's had a lot of losses recently, but he kind of just wasn't on the shows towards the beginning, so he hasn't had enough matches to get there, unfortunately for him. Or fortunately, depending on how you're looking at it. Tied second place, one of these names makes a lot of sense. It's Pretty Peter Avalon, one of the librarians. The other name who's tied for most losses is Trent, which is bizarre. Well, I guess that's because he's just had a lot of matches. But the person who's actually had the most is Brandon Cutler, which kind of makes sense. He's one of the jobbers, and he's been there pretty much all the time, and he's been pretty frequently used. A few
Isn't
people
that a lot of dark matches?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is, you know, what can you do? Who's watching that? And that's 16 losses for Cutler and 15 for Avalon and Trent each. The fifth question is: before becoming a part of the tag team he's currently in, what was the Blades' name on the Indies?
That's Braxton Sutter, isn't it?
That's his TNA name, but I need his indie name.
Oh, come on.
You know.
It is. Oh, I can't remember his name. It's The other guy is Andy Williams, and he is.
It's on the tip of the tongue. I can feel it. I can feel it. I'll give you a clue because you got Braxton Sutter. It's alliterative.
I can't think of it. I can't think of his name.
It's Pepper Parks, unfortunately. You're Mr. Salt Garden himself. He's a very not memorable wrestler on the Indies, but you know, he's a little more memorable as Butcher and the Blade. The Blade part of that, anyway. Congratulations to the people in the chat who got that one. I saw a few people guessing Cutler, which are pretty good guesses for the previous question. A lot of people got Scorpio. Not to make you feel bad or anything, but yeah. That's what I like
Look,
to do.
I knew I wasn't going to get all these, or much any of them. So
yeah, it's not called the. Let's see if I can remember what I've called it. The World's Hardest Quiz Determination League for nothing. There we go. Quite the mouthful. Okay, 6th question.
Real World Quiz League.
Yeah, let's go Real World Quiz League. What is Wardlow's current singles record, and who did he make his debut against in singles matches?
Debut was the Cody match, I think. His current record, God. Is it 3-1? 3-1?
Which one are you going for? 3-1 or 4-1?
I'm going to say 3.
You'd be correct on both counts.
Oh!
Congratulations, you're on the board. That's a full point. Yeah. 1 out of 6. You've got a chance of making 2nd place. Be a hell of a comeback. The one loss was against Cody, and then he's, I think, just won 3 squashes basically. Okay.
I'm surprised I got that because I haven't been watching the no fan shows, so.
Yeah, I haven't been watching any no fan stuff. I just can't get into wrestling.
It's
without
very
fans.
difficult.
I've just been going full in on like old stuff that I've never seen before because, you know, it's as good a time as ever to do that. Okay, question 7. Which member of the Elite was the last chronologically to pick up a victory in AEW? And again, I'm not counting All In for that.
I'm going to say Kenny.
You would be correct. You'd be correct. Every other member of the Elite picked up wins on their first show. But Kenny lost to Jericho, I think. If I'm remembering right. And then got attacked by
I think that was the
Moxley.
first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, then he got attacked by Moxley. So, yes, you're on a roll. 2 questions right in a row. The comeback is on. You're up to
Now I'm in
3rd place.
I'm in that sweet spot now. I can just stay there.
Yes, if you do manage to stay there, well, without, you know, ulteriorly falling for stuff on purpose, then that will be quite the prediction. Quite Oracle-esque of you. Dark, AEW Dark, debuted the week following the debut of Dynamite. Do you remember what the main event was?
I'm going to flat out say no.
I
So
mean,
is that right?
to be fair, for the question I've asked, that would be a correct answer, but I'm going to actually have to push you for a match here.
Was it the Janela Omega unsanctioned match?
It was not. It was SCU, the trio, defeating the Jurassic Express. I think it was the following week that was the unsanctioned match, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Okay, you're staying in the sweet spot. Question 9. Can you name the 8 participants in the current TNT Championship tournament? And you need, if you get 7 of them, you'll get half a point. If you get all 8, you get the full point.
Should it not be if I get 4 of them, I get half a point?
No.
Okay. Cody.
Correct.
Lance Archer.
Indeed he is.
Darby.
Uh-huh.
Dustin.
You're halfway.
Dustin Rhodes. Okay, now it gets difficult because I haven't seen any of the quarters. Skip Sabian,
Correct.
Sammy Guevara,
2 away.
who did Lance beat? Trying to picture the roster next. Nobody's coming to mind.
Gonna have to rush you.
Okay. No, none of a triangle are their ages. I'm gonna say Sean Spears.
Correct. You've got to the half-point mark. Now, can you get the last one?
Okay. Last one. I am going to guess at Marco Stunt.
Incorrect, unfortunately. It was Colt Cabana who Lance Archer defeated in the first round. I think. Yeah, that was Lance Archer's opponent. Yes. So 7 out of 8. So that's the half point. You just about made the mark. So you're now up to 2.5. So you're tied with Paul. So if you get this question right, you'll move into second place. If not, we'll have to keep you on the line for a tie break.
Ooh.
And the last question: how many different nationalities have been involved in AEW Championship matches since AEW's inception?
Canadian American. Oh, I'm gonna say 3.
Unfortunately, it's 4, and I'm not giving a leeway on this one. So you're tied with Paul. The 4 are.
What are the 4?
So obviously American, Canadian, Japan, Riho, and also Emi Sakura, and then Mexico. Obviously the Lucha Bros. So 2.5 points. So stick that on the leaderboard. And Paul, if you could be so kind, I've actually prepared a tiebreak this time, so I have improved as a quizmaster, and we can decide who gets second place. Do you have anything else other than your podcast to plug while we wait for Paul to hop in the channel?
Yeah, we started a blog recently. I think Dave's going to do a lot of writing on me. So, yeah, check that out. The links are on the. I think it's, or I don't know. It's like WCW Thunder Road, on Thunder Road or something like this. I honestly can't remember. I'm awful at plugging stuff. Go to our Twitter.
Which is?
At WCW Thunderpod. Or go to my Twitter at Malone_713.
There we go.
Also, anything I write for VOW, obviously.
Of course.
That goes without saying, doesn't it?
Yeah. Although you did just say it, so it also goes with saying. Okay. Leaderboard reorganized. It is going to be another of the. Let's bring Paul in. Hello again, Paul.
Hey there. I'm back faster than I assumed I would be.
Yes, you're in a tie for second place, so we need to break that tie. It's gonna
Actually,
be.
Sorry, I need to quickly do this while I have both me and Lee on the line. Lee, what's your beverage of choice for the evening?
I'm actually not drinking, which probably explains why I can't remember anything.
Fair enough. I have a Journeyman Master Cooper Pale Ale because
Ooh, nice.
Centra had a 4 for 10 deal. So
that's actually a nice one. I've had that before. But Rob is a non-drinker.
I am a non-drinker, so all straight over my head. But I'm glad you two are having a good time, or if Lee's not drinking, having a bad time, I guess. I assume that's how it works.
I'm talking to you, Rob. Yeah, it's never a bad time.
It's not true, is it? Okay, so if you were here for last week, we're going to do another of the Who Am I? So each of you get one guess for each round. I'm going to reveal a new clue on each level. If you want to buzz in, you basically just say your name and then you get to say your guess. If you've already guessed, you can't then guess again that round, but you can guess again after the next clue's been revealed. There's 3 sets of clues, and there's one wrestler that fits all of these clues. It'll kind of narrow down as we go through. So the first clue is, I have wrestled multiple matches for AAA, CMLL, Ring of Honor, WWE, WCW, ECW, and New Japan. So this guy's been around a bit.
Repeat those promotions, Rob.
AAA,
Is
CMLL, Ring of Honor, WWE, WCW, ECW, and New Japan.
ECW one is the one that trips me up there. I'm going to guess. So, like, I can guess this round, and I can then guess in the next round again, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to guess Tajiri.
It's not the name I'm looking for.
I'm just taking a stab in the dark here. I'm going to say Jerry Lynn.
Again, not the name I'm looking for. Both of them would have fitted most of them. A few, I'm not sure about the Mexican promotions. I think that might trip up both those names. So, next clue would be I've wrestled Edge, Too Cold Scorpio, CM Punk, Yuji Nagata, and Super Crazy during my career.
Hey.
Go for it.
Eddie Guerrero.
It would indeed. Lee, you have seized second place.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
After he said Jerry Lynn, I was like, oh, maybe Eddie came to mind straight away then. And as soon as I heard you say CM Punk.
I think that was IWA Mid-South, if I'm remembering right.
Was it?
So, Paul, thank you for joining us very briefly, but you've failed, so
No
please
problem.
get the hell out of here.
Sorry, Paul.
I will be back. I will have my revenge.
Yes. Next week, maybe. Next week. But, Lee, you have sealed your participation into at least the Battle Royal. You'll have a better opportunity to... You can always play again next week and maybe get first place, but Liam has been the one to win this week. I've kind of already tapped you dry of plugs, so yeah, goodbye, I guess.
I'll jump out of your channel and leave it to yourself to close off.
Pleasure having you on, as always.
Thanks, Rob.
As I accidentally crash my Discord. Do I leave a Discord channel? How do I do this? This should be easier than it is. Screw it, I'll just mute it and figure it out later. I'm not very good at technology. Mute. There we go. Okay, that is the end of this week. A few bumps, not least because my computer nearly blew up like right before we started, but overall I think it went pretty well. Liam is a very deserving winner and will be a tricky challenge in the next round. So I move this on. Let me update that. Here we go. Liam McCann, Lee Malone. So, let's go from the beginning. There we go. So we have Liam winning. He will move on to one of the semi-finals. He will also be, if he's free, a part of the Voice of Wrestling vs All Stars thing. And then Lee will move, has a chance to go into the Battle Royal now, which we'll be doing either 3 or 4 weeks from now, depending on scheduling. But he could always win one of the other blocks. Thank you everybody for joining. It'll be interesting to see how Lee will do on non-New Japan Liam will do on non-New Japan questions, because he absolutely crushed it on New Japan questions. I will be hanging around in both the Discord and the regular chat for the time being, for a little bit, but that is more or less the end of the quiz. If you want to follow the Twitch channel, you can do so by pressing, I think it's a heart on the Twitch stream. Then your little star will pop up over there, and it'll be all fancy and stuff, and that'll be great. Yeah, thank you also to Lee, Paul, and Danny for joining us. You were great fun, even if you were not as great quizzes. But maybe the questions were harder, or maybe you just weren't as well suited. You always have a chance to participate again in another block of the tournament, and maybe you can redeem yourself somewhat. Who knows? I hope you've all enjoyed yourself. The VOD of this will be up. Thank you for following. That side. Look at that dancing star. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. And the VOD of this will be up on the Voice of Wrestling YouTube probably tomorrow. You can also watch the VOD of this and past episodes immediately by clicking the videos section on Twitch. Yeah, I think that's about it. I haven't quite figured out what to do ending these episodes other than saying thank you. So, yeah, goodbye everyone.